So my name is Siddharth Varde. This is Unity Advanced Mat1 Answer7. So the first question is lighting, types of lights, baking of lights, and lighting optimization. Right. So we can add different types of lighting in Unity, and those lightings can affect the scene and light up a scene and stuff like that. So uh, we can add lights to our scene. So there are mainly four types of lights. One is directional light, and whenever we create a scene, like the one directional light comes by default. Then there is an point light, then spotlight, and then area light. And then there are emissive materials, when we put them on static objects and we bake the lighting, that emissive materials will also work as a light source. So those are the type of lights that we can create in Unity. Okay, so lightings have few different options: real time, mixed, or baked, purely baked, right? So if we set the lighting to be purely baked, until we bake the lighting, the nothing is everything every every light and every reflection will be pre-calculated on the compile time in the run, while in the Unity editor, and on runtime it will just be there. So it can work for static objects, because moving objects cannot be, Unity cannot calculate bake the lighting for the moving objects, right? So that's the only downside of the baking the light. And another one is, if you are using too high resolution of a light, then the size of the light map can be huge, so that can also be hard. So we need to make sure that the lighting that we are using is not too high and it's not too low, cheap to it's not too lesser resolution and stuff like that. So it should have a medium resolution according to the game, according to the platform, and then we can bake it. Then there are intensity, indirect multiplier kind of thing, the bounces, how many bounces we want, and all those stuff we can set in a lighting settings. Then lighting optimizations, as I said, it we should bake the lightings. Those shouldn't be a very high resolution. For the static objects, we should define the static objects and stuff. So those objects will be since they are static, the lightings will be baked and it will be applied at once. So it's kind of a batching of lighting too. So that's then we should use low resolution shadows, and even the hard shadows or soft shadows or no shadows, that we can use those different objects according to the different situations. For example, let's say we know for sure that a player is going to interact with a particular object, then that object should have a good shadow, or a medium shadow. It shouldn't have a bad shadow effect and stuff. But if we know that there is an object that player will may look at it or will never look at it, and will never interact with it, will never get close to it, then we can do we can get away with the no shadow at all, or low resolution shadow or something like that. Second question is, what are coroutines? Different ways to implement the coroutines in Unity. Okay, so coroutines are nothing but a way of writing an asynchronous code in Unity's mono behavior, right? So coroutines are just a method that can persist in multiple frames inside in Unity. So what we do is, we create a method, it returns an enumerator, and we do some stuff that we want to do, and then we say yield return, wait for end of the frame, or wait for the particular amount of time and stuff like that. So that's the thing about the coroutines. The code, if it is a normal function and we are calling it in update, or whenever we are calling it, the whole function will be executed at once. But when about the coroutine, like it will stop the execution at yield return statement. It will fulfill the condition, and after fulfilling the condition it will resume the code. So and while it is stopping, like the everything else will run, so like the control returns to unity itself again. So those are coroutines, and there are mainly two different ways of writing asynchronous code in our in unity. So like if we are using mono behavior, we can use coroutines, and if we are not using mono behaviors, then we can use like asynchronous functions, async and await, right? So async functions. So those are that's the thing. What is the C# alternative of coroutines? Using that we can write asynchronous code. So as I said, like asynchronous functions and async and await functions, right? Sorry, asynchronous functions are the way of achieving coroutines in C# without the mono behavior. So like what we need to do is like create a function, and define a return type and parameters and stuff, just like a normal function. All we need to do is like there is a keyword called async. So we need to declare that function in async function, and inside function we can say like await. We can use the keyword await. So it does the same thing, it's kind of thing like yield return kind of thing. So it will await, the code will await for until the condition is fulfilled, and once the condition is fulfilled it will resume. So that is it, I guess. Thank you.